Well, hey, everybody. Wow, been a lot of stuff going on this week that I have not been really paying attention to be honest with you. This morning, I kind of been catching up the best that I can when it comes to some of the drama that was going on between Dragnauct and True Empiricism. And from what I gathered, it kind of reminded me of this video that Jaclyn Glenn had. And I posted the video link to Jaclyn's video in the video description. She has this video called My Sexuality is Wrong. And her videos basically talks about how Riley, what was his name? You know what? I don't even know this guy. Yeah, Riley Dennis. That's right. Riley Dennis is a transsexual woman. She was complaining that because Jaclyn Glenn had said that she's not attracted to women or transsexuals, that she's a bigot. And I had posted a comment that ended up being the top comment on that video, basically saying, who the hell cares to whom you're attracted to? Why does it matter to somebody else to who you are attracted to? I do not believe that we have the ability to say who we are or are not attracted to. It just is. It's like Dostoevsky involuntarism. It just is the case. We might be attracted to somebody, we might not be. And if we are not predisposed to have a certain sexual attraction just to a certain group, then that's just the way it is. That's not a bigoted thing. Bigoted would be telling other people things like, you shouldn't have a sexual attraction to this other group. That's a bigoted comment. But who we are attracted to is nobody else's concern but your own. What Jaclyn very astutely points out is what you do in your bedroom is your own damn business, as long as it's a consenting adults. And, you know, there are some obviously limiting things. I don't believe that people should be harming each other, require medical attention. But, you know, two consenting adults having sex, do what the hell you want. But I've noticed that what happened was, I guess, and people can fill me here in a minute, Dragnaught had made some off-the-cuff remark to the degree that something, because he has transsexual friends and they are very passable, that he would find them attractive. And I don't know how that spun out of control to True Empiricism thinking that he's bisexual. Here's the thing. We don't choose who we're attracted to, and attracted does not mean the same thing as attracted to. If we find somebody attractive, that does not necessarily mean that we are attracted to them. There's been many men that I'll say are very attractive men. I don't have a problem with that. Does not mean I'm attracted to them. It means that I would like to look like them, because women are usually attracted to them, and therefore I'm just got a little envious. Okay, fair enough. That's something I think we all have. But to say that somebody is... Thanks. Oh, you're not one of those people, Tony. No, I'm kidding. You're a very attractive man. See, I'm okay to say that. I'm okay with saying people are attractive. Not a big deal. But for some reason, on the Clown Car Posse side, people like True Empiricism, and I'm assuming G-Men as well, for some reason, think that somehow translates to, oh, I'm a bisexual. Which, one, it does not. And two, who the hell cares if it did? I mean, we live in 2017, where sexuality is basically not a factor anymore in how people perceive other people in their daily lives and their work. I mean, yes, there are people that are still bigoted, and yes, people are still discriminated by it. Not saying that. But it has been completely changed from what it was in the 60s. I mean, we have people in our audience, not going to say certain names, but that can tell you growing up gay was a lot different then than it probably is now. It is more widely accepted, as well as it should be. And hopefully in another decade or two, it'll be to the point where people look back and go, how is this even an issue? Which was the comment that I made on Jaclyn Glenn's video. Why is this even an issue? Why is this something that people give a shit talking about? Now, I understand that people want to talk about it for their own well-being. You know, people that are gay, that people are transsexual or have gender identity issues. I get that. They discuss it. They want to promote this acceptance of it. Not a problem. But when you give a shit about somebody else's sexuality, that's where I draw the line. Because now you're not trying to promote just acceptance. You're telling somebody else that they are a bigot for who they are or are not attracted to. That makes no sense in the world to me. So anyways, I'm going to open this up a little bit. I don't want to rant for too long here. That was my comment that I wanted to talk about, because I don't understand this thing that True Empiricism is putting forth. Of course, he does what he does. He just takes something and runs with it as far as drama. I do agree with Jaclyn Glenn's video quite a bit. That's why I made the comment I did. And that's why I guess people liked it, because it is the highest comment on her particular video. And I wanted to hear what you guys think about it, because we have a community, the Great Debate community, where sexuality is not even an issue. Nobody, I mean, there are, I guess, one or two that kind of kind of make it a deal every so often. But for the most part, that's not a factor. We don't have debates over things like, oh, is it okay to be gay or not gay? It's irrelevant, as well as it should be. So
Yeah, it's 2017. I mean, come on, these things should have been taken care of a long
but why do
time
you think
ago.
they are, Tony? Let me ask you first, and I'll bring Jade in here because Jade has relevant information here about this. But let me ask you, Tony, why do you think in 2017 that is still the case where people have to make such an issue about who is gay and who's not? Like it's some kind of taboo. Oh, look, such and such is gay, or such and such said he found that man attractive. He must be bisexual. Like it's an insult. I don't get that. Calling
Yeah,
me gay is not an insult to me.
yeah,
It's wrong because I'm not attracted to men. Okay, but if I was, who the hell cares? It wouldn't bother me.
I think there's a lot of insecurity. That's one thing, but I think also is some people are still being affected by their parents or their grandparents that were alive in that time. It wasn't too long ago, and they're still being influenced by them, and they were raised in that life. To shed, then yeah, I guess it's harder to shed when you've just been indoctrinated the whole time like that. Because a lot of time
So
those
you
families
think
are
it's a carryover?
militant. I
You think it's just a carryover?
think that's part of it too. Definitely, that's that, and just the pure insecurity, or that they are also having trouble with their sexuality, and they find men or women attractive, and it scares them maybe.
Well,
So
you know
they'll
what? That's a
push
good
away. So
point.
Ted Haggard, people like that.
That's a good point. By the way, you do have echo, Tony. There might be people that are like that, right? And I don't judge people for having one type of sexuality in private and one in public, right? I understand their reasoning for that. I don't care to out people. It makes no difference to me. Matter of fact, I find it disingenuous when gay people out other gay people. It's not their concern either. I find that to be just as distasteful, right? So I think you're right. There is a carryover. Luckily, I didn't grow up in a family where that was even an issue. My dad wouldn't have cared. He probably would have made fun of me a little bit because that's just what he was growing up to be. He was raised in Kansas, old Southern kind of thing. But he wouldn't have loved me any less.
My dad would have killed me, but
That's a shame, though.
a lot of things that my dad did, I don't do. And I'm more on my mom's side when it comes to like open-minded and stuff like that. My dad was very like, if I was no, if my wrist, oh, he'd slap the shit out of it.
Hmm.
So I got it from
Yeah,
my mom. I think she was
that's
more
scary.
tolerant.
You know, the fact that people will even consider somebody else to be less than something because they have a sexual preference to something is something that I can't comprehend. Because if I like somebody as a friend, let's say like Barney, I like Barney, and I found out he's gay, it's not going to change the fact that I like him, right? I mean, it has no effect to me. Now, imagine that for your child. I love my daughter. I love my daughter more than anything else in the world. If she was gay, why would that affect how I think of her? I mean, I'm more concerned about her getting into gangs or doing drugs. I don't give a crap about her who she's attracted to, and hopefully never across the board because of she's daddy loves girl. But if I realize she eventually will have to make those decisions either voluntarily or whatever. I believe it's not voluntary, but she'll recognize those things later on, right? I don't have to worry about that, thank God, for quite some time, hopefully. But anyway. Yeah, well, it's one of those things I do concern myself about. It scares me to death, to be honest with you. I just, yeah. I'm gonna let her mom handle all that stuff. Hey, Jade. So,
Yes.
you
Can
might have a
you
little
hear
bit to
me
add on.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here's what happened.
Tell me in.
Hangout. And Drag was talking about how this trans woman, came to his class and talked to his class, and that afterwards he went to his professor's office, and this woman was there because she's a personal friend of the professor's. And Drag had a really nice long talk with her, and he asked her some very, you know, um, good questions. He no holds back. Drag is, and
Right.
she was fantastic, and he had a great time. And he showed a picture of her, and he said, look at her, she's fantastic. And he goes, you can see the grin on my face. And he pointed out that he's attracted to the female figure. So if a trans woman has a great figure, he finds that attractive.
I saw the picture. Like I said, I just as a matter of fact, just this morning, like an hour before this thing, she was attractive. Not gonna
She's
lie.
a gorgeous woman. Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna lie, she was attractive. So am I
And that's what
bisexual
he
now?
said.
Right?
No, so
So
it
wait a minute,
doesn't mean
I
that
gotta
he
make sure-
wants to.
I just said that. Yeah, she was attractive. So is Drew going to make a video now going, "Oh, look, Steve is bisexual"?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Basically,
did.
that's kind of the way it went. Made it very clear that he wouldn't want to have sex with a trans woman because the female parts are important to him.
Right, and that's where I stand. Right.
Yeah,
That's my
he
position.
wants the appropriate female parts because that's what he's attracted to. Now, there are some people who aren't that concerned about that,
Sure.
but
And,
it's
no
just
problem there.
everybody's different. Okay, but here's the problem. These conservatives like True and others, they don't believe in trans people. A lot of evidence showing how true that how accurate this is, how trans people really exist. We even have tons of evidence from biology, and just a little bit sideways, but just to explain this, because sometimes some of you might encounter this. Decades and decades, we've done tests on mice and other animals, even primates, although not so much anymore with primates, lesser primates, whatever, to test things like dyes, pesticides, various different kinds of drugs. Everything. You go to a supermarket and you look around, and everything has had some, like food coloring, food additive, what have you. Even the boxes, they want to make sure are non-toxic. So all of these things have been tested on animals, right? So we have decades of tests on animals. What they've discovered is sometimes certain chemicals, if they are given to a pregnant mouse, because this is one of the tests they do. You don't just want to test to see if these food additives, pesticides, whatever, are having an effect on the adults. You want to make sure that a pregnant woman ingesting these things is not going to have something happen to her children. Some of them are old enough to remember the whole thalidomide thing, where there was this drug. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, so let me just quickly finish.
It was wrong. It was left-handed, mice right-handed.
Yeah.
Or they were. I was confused, but yeah.
So anyway, the thing is, what they discovered is sometimes when these drugs are given to a pregnant animal, they end up with, for example, a male rat. It's just an example of male rat that is physically male, externally, internally, physically male, but behaves like a female rat. Or they end up with a female rat, again, physically, internally, externally, completely female, who behaves like a male rat. So we know that certain chemical influences before birth can result in essentially transsexuality. And I've had people say, well, those are rats. And I said, well, if you think that it's no good because it's rats, you'd probably better never eat anything or go anywhere, because everything in our world has been tested on rats. So I just wanted to point out that the thing is, it's kind of hard to find this research because it had nothing to do with transsexuality, but it shows us there is a basis for transsexuality. So it exists. So all these fundamentalists trying to scream that it's not true, you're full of crap.
Yeah, it goes against their narrative, right? I mean, they want it to be completely based on phenotypical characteristics, right? If you got a penis, you're a male. Right. Even that's just the whole mindset they have. Right. The dichotomy is strictly binary, right?
Right, but you can have a penis and have two X chromosomes. Guess what? Yeah. You can have a vagina and have an X and a Y chromosome. It's not that simple. So anyway, they don't believe that transsexuals exist. So when you talk about a trans woman, to them, that's a man in drag, which is something completely different.
They don't get the difference, do they?
Get the difference. Yeah. So because Dragnaught is attracted to the female figure, some trans women have great female figures, but and then this is where the disconnect comes in, because trans women, according to Ronnie and others, are just men in drag. Dragnaught is attracted to men.
That's some convoluted logic there.
It is. Yep. And there's a huge disconnect there. Trans women are not men in drag.
No.
Men men in drag, men who wear women's clothing, may be transvestites. Many transvestites are heterosexual. Enjoyment from wearing women's clothing. They may be, gay guys who dress in drag for entertainment, for fun.
Drag is typically an exaggeration.
Yes.
It's almost clownish in its nature.
Well, they like to be flamboyant,
Yes, very much so.
But many guys I live near Palm Springs. Okay, there are a lot of drag people there, but a lot of them, they were straight.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them were gay, but a lot of them were wrong. But there was straight people that I knew that like to dress up.
Yeah, and so what? I said some men feel that wearing, and even the men who are transvestites, some of them just are very they just want to wear like everyday women's clothes. But other transvestites like the really lacy underwear, the bodice.
Hey, Jade, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say they're getting into the whole female thing by wearing the clothes. They think that, wearing like pantyhose, or maybe not even pantyhose, maybe the old-fashioned garter belt with the nylons. This is exciting to them. But it's not because they're attracted to women or want to be women, but they're identifying with the sex they like in a particularly pleasing way. That's it.
Well, I got to tell you, I had a silk kimono that it was a female silk kimono, but I liked to wear it because it was comfortable. And my ex used to give me shit about it. I'm like, I don't give a shit. This is the most comfortable damn thing you can imagine. Okay, I like to wear it. It's like a silk robe. You couldn't really tell it was female, but it was. But so what? I was comfortable in it. But I didn't mean I like to dress up in women's clothes. It was comfortable. Not gonna lie. But Ronnie could run with that. I don't care. But I want to take it back to what you said just a few minutes ago, though. If we just kind of back it up before the point gets lost.
Sure.
About having a preference for like the genitalia, right? And this is something that's critical because in Jaclyn's video, the point being to Riley Dennis she was saying that if you are not attracted to somebody because they have a penis or because that it's basically on the genitalia, then you're automatically a bigot. And I'm like, how does that work? No. That does not work. That's ridiculous. Look at sexuality is sexuality, and like drag says, we like the female sexual components. Okay. How is that something we even have to apologize for? But if somebody does it, they're just as justified. I don't care.
Well, as I pointed out in the chat too, who we're attracted to is who we're attracted to, and that comes from a lot of different sources. You like very thin women.
See, people know this by now, right?
Yeah, I am not attracted to very thin women.
Most people aren't. People like a little meat on the bone.
And so, but that's just
I'm the minority there.
I have a quick question, Steve. Sure. I thought you didn't bring this stuff up on your channel. I thought you stayed away from the identity politics.
Nah, we occasionally dive into this. You'd be surprised. We don't go into politics, but this isn't politics. This is social aspects, and this is something.
Okay, well,
because I do watch, believe it or not, and I don't talk about them often, but I watch things like Sargon's thing that he had on MythCon with Thomas. I watch those things. I pay attention. I just don't discuss them that often, right? But I see the banter going back and forth between like Armored Skeptic and I see Logic and all these people. I don't get involved in a lot of that. I don't punch up like that because it's just not something I really want to get involved in because it's so divisive and bitter. Yeah. But occasionally things like this should not be a divisive issue. This is, hey, who you're attracted to is who the hell you're attracted to. There's no discussion on that.
And I agree.
Yeah, and I wanted to at least add that I've had fans of Riley's. I've met them in person, like it just in happenstance at a bar or something, and because I don't want to fuck someone with a vagina because I'm gay, and I am very attracted to the genitalia, as you said. I get called a bigot all the time, and
let me get this straight. And by the way, let's try to keep the vulgarities down because I want to keep this on an upper level. So okay, you're gay, and wait, they call you a bigot because you don't like women?
I go to gay bars. I go to gay bars, and I'm looking to get laid for once. I'm out. I don't drink, and the reason I don't drink is because I'm actually allergic to alcohol. It's like a self-roofie thing, and I've gone to bars, and women have gay bars, right? And women have gathered around me, and they've actually taken sips of my drink. They trust me so much, and it's like they just invade my space, and I actually can't get laid at bars because I won't fuck women, and the guys won't approach me with all these chicks.
Once again, just try to keep it above level.
Sorry.
I mean, my last 3 videos have already been demonetized. I'm trying to see if we can have a conversation where they don't get
I'm
tricked.
sorry.
And we don't need to go on the base level. I mean, because what happens
is the topic you have picked for that.
Well, here's the thing: we can talk about discussion. We can talk. There's different types of discussions we have, right? And people need to know what type of discussion we're having. If it's rum and coke night, it's a lot more fair game than it is like having a topic that I think is a serious topic, and I don't want to degrade that topic by. But you guys am I making sense here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I mean, I don't want to like be overbearing on it, but it's just I think this is a serious topic and it should be treated as such.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to say that people, in Washington, it's definitely. These issues are definitely more prevalent than they need to be. Definitely more emphasis on it than it needs to be.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of them like that, though. I mean, but like you said, you knew people like Riley's flock. By the way, I don't follow Riley Dennis. I know who she is. I do follow Jaclyn Glenn. But when I had heard that what Dennis was saying, or Riley Dennis was saying, I was mortified. I was like, here's a person who's transgender telling somebody else that they're a bigot for who they are not attracted to. The hypocrisy was just mind-boggling. And if some people had read my comment, if you haven't read my comment, you can go watch Jaclyn Glenn's video. Say hi to her for me. She doesn't know who the hell I am. You know what? She actually knows Wayne. She doesn't know me. She knows Wayne Fillmore. Do you guys know that Wayne Fillmore she actually did a video on him like years and years ago? Do you have any? You guys know that? But she didn't. No.
What was it?
What was that? I'm sorry, I missed it.
You guys all know. Obviously, we know Wayne Fillmore, right? Jaclyn Glenn did a video on Wayne Fillmore way back when, like in, oh my God, like 2011 or something like that, 2013 or something, way back when he was more of a rabid evangelist, and she just tore him apart. And he wants to apologize to her, but he's never been able to get a hold of her to do that. So. Because he's not that rabid, guy anymore. He still has some reviews, but
well, we all do.
He
Welcome
used to
to
be
the
real
world.
big, huh? Or is he still big? I don't know.
No, Ray's never been big, but he was okay. Here's the thing on YouTube, guys. There's a couple different ways to get kind of well known. You could either have really good product and know what you're talking about, and people that like put forth great videos. I'd be like Armor Skeptic and Logic, and obviously Paul G. I think is going to be there. Those guys, right? Or you could be the person who says the absolute moronic, stupidest shit in the world. People like Josh Feinstein or Finkelstein, or whatever the guy's name is. Foreskin. Ben and Fang X. Those kind of guys, right? Those kind of guys are going to get popular because they say stupid shit. And Wayne, back in that day, said stupid shit. He was one of those types of those guys, and she did a response video and just ate him alive. So... But he's not that kind of person anymore. But anyways, back to the topic at hand here. Jade, I mean, did you want to add any more on that? Because I think it's across the board that people have to realize that when people start talking about somebody else's sexuality, it's either that they have issues with their own or they're just being assholes. And either way, I don't really want to deal with it. I don't really have time to deal with that kind of petty, nonsensical bullshit.
I understand to a certain extent what they're talking about. I think they're completely wrong. Trans people have fought for a long time as their real gender. In other words, trans women have fought for a long time to be accepted as women. Trans men have fought for a long time to be accepted as men. So that they are trans women know that they're women. They feel like they're women in every single way. And so they feel that when people treat them as not as women, wrong.
No, and I understand that as well.
Some people don't seem to get that just because someone is not attracted, someone can be attracted to you. You look at you physically, like, a trans woman, looks just really, really hot, gorgeous. But when they find out you're trans, that you have a penis, because all trans women don't have the surgery. One of the reasons is they can't afford it. Also tends to be more important for trans women and trans men than bottom surgery. Because it's the figure, you know.
Yeah, they want to look
hide.
like they want to look like a
Yeah,
woman.
you can hide, you know, men can tuck, women can wear a Mr. Softy or whatever if they want to have a bulge. And yes, there is such a thing called a Mr. Softy.
I thought that was an ice cream.
No, it's basically it's a fake penis, but it's a non-erect fake penis, so you get the proper kind of bulge.
Nice little flaccid penis.
But anyway, of course, there's lots of other ways to get the bulge, but it's mostly the figure that is most important to them. So they present to the world as their proper gender. So, but it hurts them when they get rejected because, I'm sorry, you've got the wrong genitalia. You're gorgeous. You're a woman. I love women. Wrong parts down there. And so it hurts them because they see themselves so completely as women. The case that this is hurtful, and they have to get over it. I mean, I don't want to be mean, but to be blunt, they have to get over it.
No, I totally get that. I totally understand their point of view.
Right. I do too, but I think we need to be a bit gentle with them because this is a difficult world. I think so far something like 16 trans women have been murdered because they're trans so far this year, and those are just the ones we know about. And so this is a scary world for them. I know what that's like. You know, I was gay in the 1970s. I was involved in the lesbian feminist movement, so I understand how scary the world is for them. Coming out and they're being represented, and sometimes they're being represented well, sometimes not so well, you know, Caitlin. But they're being represented. But that's part of it. You want the spectrum. I remember years and years ago, some lesbian did something really, really stupid and got arrested. Straight friends of mine said, "How do you feel about that?" And I said, "I feel great." And they said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Because you have to realize that people are people. There are good gay people, there are bad gay people, there are stupid gay people, there are smart gay people. Just like with straight people, there's the whole spectrum." But no, I understand their point of view, but we have to bring it to a different level with them and point out, so are you, as you're a trans woman, or you're attracted to men, are you attracted to all men out there? Do you like bears? Do you like big hairy guys? Oh, you don't like big hairy guys? Are you anti-bear? Are you a bear phobe?
I like,
you know,
well, it's the same.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Look at
yes.
I'm as you know, I do prefer skinny women. I can never see myself with a very large woman, but that doesn't make me a bigot for that, right? I don't understand that. I'm just not attracted to that. I can't help that. I can't say to myself, I will myself to be attracted to that. It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. And there are exceptions, of course. I'm not attracted to skinny women, to very thin women. That doesn't mean that I couldn't meet some woman who is very thin, and she's fantastic, great personality. We have everything in common. We start finishing each other's sentences. So there can be exceptions. I've never been particularly attracted to blondes. But I know where that comes from. That comes from growing up in Southern California and being around way too many bleached blonde beach bimbos.
Oh, see, I was totally.
Oh my God, you're so mean.
I loved blondes when I grew up. As I got older, I like brunettes. So I don't know. It kind of changed.
But the thing is, there were so many women that I would see on the beach because I was always in the water, swimming, surfing, whatever. But there were so many women who they, dye their hair blonde, and they'd be these little prissy. Oh my God, I got sand on me. Oh, and that just sort of kind of turned me off blondes. But that doesn't mean I met some terrific blondes in my life. It just means that initially that's something that doesn't attract me. I know why.
Jade, you seem like someone that'd be you'd be perfect with like a brunette librarian with thick glasses. That's
my type. That's my type, but thin librarian.
Well, see, what we do is we take the thin brunette librarians with glasses and we send them to Steve.
There you go.
Larger.
Yeah, I like my women a little bigger too.
Yeah.
By the way, I got to read this off from Thomas Brody, $5. How dare you love your daughter more than your fans? I would kill every one of you before I stop loving my daughter. So just FYI, I love you all, but nothing's going to compare to my daughter. So
the shocking reveal.
So you just have to accept that fact.
Probably kill every one of you for Steve's daughter, and I don't even know her. It's just the way I feel about kids.
Me too. I think
my daughter's awesome as hell. I'm just telling you. She
sounds like she's awesome, but anybody messes with a kid, they're gonna deal with an old lady. With
I would have never expected to have her personality type, right? I mean, it was. She likes sports, right? I'm not into sports, but she likes sports, especially softball. She's just not interested in the same things I am, but she's a total daddy's girl. But I thought to myself, if I ever have kids, they would be like the nerdy computer person kind of stuff. Oh no, she's the diametrically opposite of that. But I don't love her any less for it.
No, as a matter of fact, you probably delight in the things that she loves. There's nothing cooler than loving someone and seeing them really happy doing something, even if it's not something you're into.
Yeah,
I used to
and learning with them too, learning what they like.
Is it a woman who loved bowling? I could care less about bowling, but she loved it. So I'd go bowling with her on occasion, and she'd have a great time. And I didn't hate the bowling. I didn't particularly enjoy it. The bowling alley had really good pizza, though, I will say, and beer. They had beer.
Yeah, they're good.
But I loved watching her bowl because she loved it so much.
Yeah.
It's just cool watching things people are into.
Watching somebody do what they love is so beautiful.
It is.
Well, yeah, if they're happy. I mean, if my daughter's enjoying herself and smiling, and I know she's having fun with her friends, I mean, who am I to be the asshole to go, oh, well, she's not behind a computer programming, or she's not looking at the sky with her telescope. I mean, she does like those things. I mean, but they're not her main thing, right? I mean, it's not like as I was growing up, I really enjoyed looking at the stars, right? She just finds them, interesting. So.
Is it strange that when we talk about attraction, we automatically go to aesthetics? Well,
that's kind of what it is, though, in some ways. I mean, you got to remember, the first thing we notice with a person is the aesthetics. Let's be realistic, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the first interaction,
right? And so, but there are the factors that go into that. Clearly, it's more than aesthetics.
But that makes sense, though, because our longest range sense is our sight. After that is our hearing and our smell.
And smell's very powerful sense, true, right?
Pheromones.
Pheromones, yeah.
And I've noticed with me, it's not necessarily the facial features. Because I'm attracted to a wide range of women. I like women with strong faces, but I also like women with soft faces. It's not I don't have a specific type. But what gets me is the smile. You can look at a homely woman and she smiles and it just lights up her face.
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, I like
I've known women that I was like, okay, they're okay. I didn't really think much of it. Got to know them. And like you said, when they smile and stuff like that, I'm like, you know what? This person really is really attractive.
Yeah.
I've actually based my position on women before that I found to be much more attractive after I got to know them than before.
And it's so much harder to describe an attractive personality rather than an attractive look.
Yeah, right.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
You can meet, this has happened to me too, is you can meet a woman who seems like an absolute bitch, and that's a turnoff. Now, I like assertive people. I don't like passive people, but I don't like people who are just, like mean to others. They're totally bitchy. But then you get to know them and you realize that, oh no, there's a different layer there. They're just like super sarcastic. And I wasn't getting that.
Well, I like the super sarcastic type.
And then you start to...
not anymore, but I used to. It's not my type anymore, but...
Wait. New drama incoming.
What do we got?
Live now from the live chat.
Midnight.
Kenny says, talking about attraction, I find Steve as Colonel Custer attractive.
Well, damn right he does. Kenny's a very intelligent man.
Wait. Kenny is now gay.
We're all a little bit gay according to true empiricism and G-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not,
You brought it out of
no.
them.
You cannot be a little bit gay. You
but here's the thing.
either
Okay.
are or you're not.
And
It's a binary choice.
Well,
I think those
actually,
two
no,
are
'cause
gay.
if you're
And
bisexual,
if you're not straight, then you're gay.
bisexual is a third option. But here's the thing. Look it. I've said this
According to some
before.
people, it doesn't exist.
Well, they're
folks,
idiots.
right?
But
I
I've said, look, if I met somebody and I was in love with them and they had all the female parts, they had all the female characteristics, they were to me completely female, but I had found out they had a Y chromosome and they had like was it androgynous insensitivity syndrome or something where they actually were technically men but phenotypically women, it wouldn't bother me at that point. At that point, I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm with this person. I love them. Because they have the genitalia I like, they have the personality, they have the emotions. I couldn't tell the difference. But the fact they have a gene that's a Y chromosome, I wouldn't give a rat's ass at that point. But if someone wants to call me gay for that, I think that's kind of silly.
Well,
Right. There's a famous actress who a lot of people think is absolutely gorgeous.
And I know exactly what you're talking about.
Who
Curtis?
supposedly has
Yeah,
what?
Jamie Lee Curtis. Right?
supposedly has androgen insensitivity syndrome.
Yeah.
I mean, even today, she's gorgeous. You know?
Yeah, she's a good-looking woman. My dad,
Yeah,
she was my
See,
dad.
I
My
mean,
dad's
you know,
super
Had to
natural.
get the change.
My dad would I would leave your mom for a heartbeat for her. My dad was loved Jamie Lee Curtis.
And right now, she supposedly has this, and I don't. You know, maybe she does, maybe she
There's
doesn't.
never been confirmation.
I don't care. I don't think most. You know, who cares? She's fantastic.
Yeah, I think
She's
it's one of those
very
things
much
like
a
the
woman.
Richard Gere thing.
Yeah.
That's
Like
true.
Richard Gere.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I would go out with somebody like that. That wouldn't bother me, right? So, but if somebody wants to say, oh well, but technically, if somebody has, you know, they want to say, well, this person has a Y chromosome, which is, by the way, not how you determine sexuality, for as far as I know of genetics.
Right.
But if they say, oh, Steve, you're gay because you go out with Jamie Lee Curtis, I'd be like, fuck you, I'm going out with Jamie Lee Curtis, so I don't give a shit what you call me. I mean,
Or if someone
seriously,
were to
right?
tell me I'm straight because I'm going out with Jamie Lee Curtis, I'd tell them to go fuck themselves. I'd go, look at her. You got to be kidding. Not only is she gorgeous, but she's got all the right parts, at least externally, internally, probably not. But who cares? We don't see those. Terrific person. You know, what? I wouldn't care. So what?
This is probably going to be a dumb question, but does she have any kids?
No, you can't have kids if you're
Yes, they're adopted.
well, they're adopted, yeah, but you can't have any.
Yes,
if
you
you
can't
you-
have, no.
yeah, you're sterile if you have
Yeah.
androgyny.
Yeah, you don't have all the appropriate. You know, people with androgen insensitivity syndrome are externally perfectly female.
Yeah.
But internally, there's stuff missing, and it's the same with the opposite, which I can't remember the name of, but they're who have all the external parts, but have two X chromosomes. They're
she was
also
born-
sterile.
So she was born this way, right? I'm just trying to get a
Yeah,
clarification
it's
here.
it's a genetic thing.
Okay,
My,
okay, okay.
sis-
Right.
my
What
sister.
happens is that you have an insensitivity to, I believe, testosterone, right?
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
your body doesn't make the necessary steps because we're all basically born female.
Yeah,
Well,
nature
and-
is weird.
For all practical purposes, we're female when we're born. I mean, we're not born.
Well,
but
yeah,
we're,
Oh,
we're
G-Man,
always
G-Man.
not born. I'm sorry,
I
not
love
born.
that.
Not
I don't know
born
if
female.
you-
Steve's female.
Don't tell G-Man that.
I love that.
But
Yeah.
physically, we're female for the first
My
couple months.
sister had
Yeah.
to have that surgery when she was like, very young. It was to the point where we had my dad had to decide whether she was going
Well,
to
that's
be
different.
a boy or a girl.
Insensitivity syndrome is not something you can correct. It's not.
No,
There's no
no.
operation for that.
No, this was actually
Well,
she
hormones,
had like
that's it.
I guess
You just take
genitalia
hormones.
problem.
Yeah, I corrected myself. People were talking. You're not born female. I mean, obviously that's not the case. People are. I'm saying you when you're like a few weeks old, you're basically female till the testosterone kicks in, and then your testes drop, and all that other stuff happens.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, there's
you know.
different pathways. I just point out that PZ Myers, I posted a link to it myself, but if you look at on his channel, PZ Myers channel, he just recently, the video before the last one or so, did a on the development of sex and gender. How we physically develop. And it's really cool. And PZ Myers would not say that we're born female. He doesn't like that. Or that you're female. He says we're nothing. Really a terrific video if you want to understand how we develop into male and female.
He would say we're more
sometimes-
we're gender neutral until it's a sign.
Yes, yeah.
Because
But-
yeah, okay. You're like a blank slate, tabula rasa, I call it, I guess. Whatever.
If you're at all interested in this subject, really watch that video. It's terrific. That's all I want to say. Just look up PZ Meyer's channel.
Yeah, no,
Great video.
Yeah, PZ. I like PZ Meyer's biology stuff.
Because this is what he does. This is his field of, developmental, evolutionary biology.
But Jade, if we really want to know about this stuff, we just go ask G-Man, because G-Man knows more than PZ.
Oh yeah.
Well, G-Man
clearly
knows that, like in the first stage of gestation, that's when the angels come down and place the penis on the
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't believe people actually believe that. There might be somebody else.
I don't know what these guys believe.
It's like you get a boy, you're a girl. You're a boy. You're
I am totally
girl.
fine with the rational, with the rational theist types. Jade is a rational theist. Kenny is a rational theist. These people are rational people. They have great dialogue. They have their beliefs. Fine, but I don't get the whole G-Man concept of religion. It is nonsensical to me. It never has.
And neither do a lot of people, including conservative Christians. I mean, you've seen Sabella Shepherd is a conservative Christian. She's taking classes at Liberty University, but you've seen her comments about the stuff that G-Man says. She's appalled by the way he represents conservative Christianity.
I would be if I was Christian. I would be like, I want nothing to do with this guy.
She is appalled by that, and she's appalled by true empiricism. And Sabella's not stupid. I've known her for years, and I've known her pretty well. And she's studying accounting right now because she wants to get her CPA. And she's at Liberty. She's doing Bible studies. And
people like Kent Hovind don't help either.
She's just appalled by the way these people misrepresent conservative Christianity. Like Sabella and I could have a discussion and we disagree on stuff in Christianity, but we could have a reasoned discussion about this. You can't have a reasoned discussion with people like G-Man and True and Antonio and Tommy and people like that. They're fixated on this little narrow personal interpretation of Christianity, and they haven't bothered to really educate themselves. So they don't understand the history of Christianity. They don't know anything about theology. They don't know anything about translations, except to look stuff up. Look up a word that's translated.
They look stuff up. They still can't read things correctly.
Well, they don't understand linguistics. It's more complicated. And I'm sure Kenny could tell you this. I know he's out there somewhere. It's more complicated than simply looking up a word or two. It's the way language is used. And it's like
let's switch. Let's real quick, since we're talking about G-Man, and I'll just, by the way, the live feed's going nuts. Let me throw this out there. Rationality, people are kind of confused here. They ask me, well, if you think people that hold a theistic belief are rational, why aren't you a theist? Well, look rational is how you get to position. Doesn't mean that position has to be true or not. I don't know if atheism or theism is true. If a person gets to a position of atheism and they do so by what I think is a rational reason for it, that's fine. If they get to theism for a rational reason, they're rational. I don't see the need to go, oh, I'm an atheist, therefore if you have a theist position, you're irrational. I find that to be just completely disingenuous. It distracts from the conversation. It does nothing to the conversation. For the same thing for a theist to say an atheist is irrational. It means nothing when people say that. People are rational if they have a valid reason for accepting what they believe. And I mean, would people dare go, hey, Jade, you're irrational? No. I mean, I don't think so. I certainly wouldn't, because she's a theist.
Well, not you, but
a conflation of empirical evidence with reason. Not only empirical evidence, but what can be empirically proven.
But I'm not big into empirical things when it comes to like philosophy. Theology,
as long as you have reasons, as long as those reasons are consistent.
Yeah. Especially if you're like a coherentist, right? You want to have like a coherent worldview. But if Jade said, hey, I'm a theist because aliens from Mars told me God exists, I'm going to think she's irrational. That's not a good reason to be a theist. Yeah. See the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. But anyways, let's move on real quick. I want to talk about G-Man real quick because we haven't talked about him in weeks or months around here. But I watched the GMO thing. I did watch that one. Oh my God, that you believe it or not. That was the
Did he get
funniest
any
thing.
dumber?
I was laughing my ass off. And I want him to make so many more of those videos. That was a right. Let me give you my synopsis real quick, Jay, and then you can tell me yours.
Okay.
Because this was, I mean, literally in the first 3 minutes, I was like, "Holy shit! What the hell am I listening to?" My takeaway from this was that G-Man thinks that genetically modified organisms are what we feed to chickens in order to plump them up so they are more likely to be bought and eaten. That was my takeaway from him.
Jeez, that's the steroids, not the that. Jeez.
Explain to me what the hell he
We don't
meant
use
by that.
steroids.
Oh,
We don't
it's
use
not
steroids in chickens.
Yeah, he was complaining growth hormones with GMO, but he thinks GMO is what we feed.
Yeah.
He thinks we do kind of feed GMOs like corn to animals, but he thinks GMOs is something we inject into animals, not understanding that GMO is the food.
Now, I do want to say
That's
that
ridiculous.
at one time long ago, Tony is partly right. At one time long ago, there were some people who were giving steroids to chickens to make them grow really fast.
Right. Oh, I totally remember that.
That was not allowed here in the United States. I'm not saying any chickens got here that way, but that was not allowed here in the United States. In some places, they were giving hormones, and there is some evidence. It's kind of apocryphal, but it's strong apocryphal evidence that giving certain hormones to chickens to make them grow fast in some Caribbean countries where people ate a lot of chicken had an effect on the children that were born to people who ate a lot of chicken.
The girls were entering puberty at a younger age.
That might be.
That there were young women, little girls, who, when they reached puberty, became boys.
But Jay, G-Man's thing.
Yeah, it's complicated.
He mixed all these things together.
Yes.
I mean, he thinks GMO stands for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Inflation.
Did you know that GMOs, according to him, cause heart attacks?
Right. Well, yes.
Why wouldn't they?
What?
He's not separating. Yeah, everything is GMO to him. He doesn't separate. Drag tried to talk to him. It was, it's funny because he doesn't understand what he's talking about. Things up. He thinks that the big chickens in the market clearly are big because they're GMOs, have GMOs. There are no GMO meats, folks. No GMO meats. None. However, some meats are fed GMO grains. Yeah. They're it's in their feed. But the thing is, I did a post and I showed a picture from feathersite.com, which is a great place to go if you're interested in poultry and certain birds and things like that. Cornish cross chicken. It's a male chicken and it's freaking huge. And
they got hairy feet too, or the furry feet.
And these are most of the chickens that are eaten for food here in the United States are Cornish cross rocks. The one I showed a picture of is a Ross chicken. It's a breed. It's a Cornish cross that better known in Europe. But these chickens get really, really big. First of all, you're crossing a heavy breed, the Cornish, with a medium breed, the Rock. The Rocks have better breast structure because we really want breasts. And so you're getting what's called, not only are you getting a great cross from it, you're getting what's called hybrid vigor. In hybrid vigor, the offspring are bigger than the parents. Now, there are problems with these Cornish cross chickens because sometimes they can't stand up. Their legs are too weak to hold up their own weight. But they get really big really fast. And a fully grown one, like the one I showed a picture of, is freaking huge. And the males are much bigger than the females. And the females get over 20 pounds. I don't know how the males are. So
yeah, that's a turkey damn near.
You're right. You're right. That's a turkey.
Yeah.
Now, we don't eat them at that size because the meat gets tough as they get older. They're what used to be called stewing chickens. You used to be able to buy them in the market, stewing chickens. But the smaller chickens are simply harvested younger. And that way, the companies that sell the little chickens, they do a fast turnover. They get a really fast turnover, so you get these little chickens. They're smaller chickens. The bigger chickens are harvested later, and so they're meatier. They're generally better tasting, and G-Man is confusing. Is what's called plumping, okay? And plumping happens with a lot of different meats. And what they do is they take a brine solution, a solution of salt and water, and you inject it into the animal, and it plumps the meat up. It makes it more tender too. And there are problems with plumping. So one of which is the salt content. So if you're gonna go and you're gonna buy a chicken, for example, look at the salt content, because with plumping, you're paying for that water in terms of weight. It's not going to be an extraordinary amount. You know, it's not like you're being terribly cheated. I'd be more concerned with the salt content. So he sees these pictures of people injecting chickens, and he thinks they're being injected with GMOs.
Oh, jeez.
He sure is.
No, they're
stupid. It hurts. It just freaking hurts.
Yeah.
How do you get to that level of
plumping? And it's just a lot like
this video is already getting to be monetized.
Brining. You know, a lot of people have heard of brining meats.
Sure,
it's a lot like brining, except you're doing it internally.
Yeah, I know.
They do it with pork too. Yeah, they do it with pork.
Yeah, they do it with pork too. Yes, they do.
How does a single individual get to the point of stupidity where they conflate plumping with somehow injecting them with GMOs? That's the level of
because everything is GMO to him.
Yeah.
G-Man is just
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and let me say something about that stupid video from that guy. I just have to say this. You know that guy who he ate at McDonald's for 30 days?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
G-Man showed this thing over and over again, where this guy does a completely experiment.
Yeah, no, what's Spurzac?
Beyond ridiculous. He places different foods in these jars that are covered and says, look at them after a week, 2 weeks, whatever. Well, first of all, those jars are not hermetically sealed. There's probably a difference in how carefully sealed they all are. There are problems with them, and one of the main ones is when you look at the French fries. He has McDonald's French fries, and then he has a restaurant French fry. And he says, look, McDonald's French fries still look fresh, and the restaurant French fries are all getting moldy. You know what? McDonald's French fries are what are called shoestring potatoes. They're really, really thin, and they have a low moisture content. The restaurant French fries, you could even see in the video, are really thick and plump, and they have a high moisture content. Guess what? Rates depend in part on moisture content. Dry, desiccated McDonald's fries, and let's face it, if you let McDonald's fries sit for a while, they're pretty dry. There's nothing to them, so of course they're not gonna decompose as quickly as the restaurant fries because they have a low moisture content. And on top of all of that, no one at any point took a look at what microbes were involved, which a real experiment would do. But not only that, the microbes get in there. You can put 2 McDonald's hamburgers in 2 different jars and get separate results because of the people who handled them had different microbes on them, or the bag, or whatever the fuck. So
what do you think about pink slime? That pink slime that you
pink slime was never used here in the United States.
Same microbes be introduced to the burgers in a more scientific study? Wouldn't the same microbes be exposed to both burgers? Or
in a scientific study, yes, you would have everything sterile. Or as sterile as you could, identical. You'd have identical conditions for the burgers. You'd have identical ingredients. The whole thing. Yeah, you would.
And here's the thing: it's not the type of food that you're eating for McDonald's. McDonald's food is not inherently bad for you any more than any other food. It's how much you eat of it.
Exactly. It's
and how much quantity. You eat of it. The worst thing about McDonald's food, if you actually look at the nutritions, which I have, is the sodium.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely like ungodly high in sodium.
Their milkshakes too turned into some kind of weird gelatinous form. I'll say that.
But that's your worst thing.
I know.
Sodium is very bad for you. But I mean, I had this bacon thing the other day when I took my daughter out with her mom. We do this thing like once every couple of weeks where we just go to McDonald's and talk about her school and catch up, and it's great.
The family thing going. That's cool.
Yeah, me and her mom get along still. We were together 5 years. We have everything's in the past. We are fine with each other. She's remarried. We get along really well, actually. But the bacon thing I had, it was like an artesian thing. I gotta tell you, it was freaking scrumptious.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really good.
The only thing I'm worried about is that they actually put something in it that makes you crave it nightly. Because sometimes when I get a McDonald's craving, I know when I get a McDonald's craving, it's a beast of a thing. I have to go. I'm like, I'm going to McDonald's. I don't care.
See, I don't eat fast food very often. I only will, even when I go out with my ex, I usually only have coffee. But I just one time I said screw it, and I haven't had McDonald's in ages, and it was yum. It was really good. I'm surprised.
Well, it's not just the salt, but it's also the fats. And there's been research
and the
done
fats, sure.
on why we crave certain foods, and that's what it is. Certain foods will cause you to. It triggers certain things in our bodies. I can't tell you what because it's been a long time since I've read these, and I don't remember. But it triggers certain things in our bodies to tell us to go get more, and it probably comes from our primitive ancestry where we were living in the woods, and it was telling us we need to get more fat. We need to get more fat. If you've ever seen any of these videos by these people who live out in the woods and they survive in the woods, one of the things they point out is you have to have fat. They're constantly trying to get fat because they're getting fat.
No, I know what you mean. You want to have fats, right?
Yeah, they're trying to find enough fat to survive because they'll go out and they'll get a bunch of ptarmigans or quail or whatever, and there's not a lot of fat on them. They have to go get the moose, the deer, the caribou, the whatever that has fat on it, just simply to survive.
Right.
And so our bodies, we evolved in that sort of a situation.
Yeah.
The Szechuan region does a lot of yak.
Ooh, that sounds
high
good.
that it really puts on
high calorie diet for survival.
Very high calorie.
Yeah, what you do want to avoid, I stopped drinking soda altogether. When I quit smoking, I kind of give up sodas as well. I don't miss it. Occasionally, if I really have a craving, I'll go get some diet ginger ale is really good. But I try to keep the sugars down. But some of that stuff is 53 grams of sugar, in a serving. That's a lot of damn sugar. I don't want any of that. I mean, I'd rather drink the Pepsi Zero. There's nothing, But I mean, that's the stuff you got to avoid. Is that really thick, syrupy, sugary stuff? That's what I don't want.
Yeah, now see, the thing is, I'm addicted to carbonated beverages, and it gets me. And so one of my favorite.
Do you have your own carbonator?
No, but one of my favorite things. I'm sitting here right here with a bottle. Is Geyser Sparkling Spring Water Natural Lime Flavor. And if you look at what's in it, it's spring water, natural lime essence, carbonation added. That's all that's in it. It's the carbonation that I like.
I like that
so
too.
I'm basically drinking carbonated water with lime is just like my thing. But the other thing I do, and I am on a soda kick right now. Every few years I get on one and I just let it go, and then I don't have sodas for years. I'm looking at a Izzy Sparkling Clementine juice, and it is oh wait, darn it, I had it here. But basically, it's okay. Here it is. Good. Sparkling water. Here are the ingredients. Remember, the ingredients are always in order. Sparkling water, apple juice concentrate, white grape juice concentrate, orange juice concentrate, citric acid, natural flavor, clementine juice concentrate, gum arabic, acerola juice concentrate, beta carotene, acid with vitamin C, niacinamide, which is a vitamin B, pyridoxine hydrochloride, which is vitamin B6. Did you see sugar in there anywhere?
It didn't sound like it.
No. Of course, there is some sugar in the actual juices. We know that.
Fructose.
But this is the kind of thing that I really go to.
See, I just like salsa water. I mean, I'll drink like Pellegrino, or just.
Oh yeah, I do too. Yeah.
I'm weird. I'll drink a 2 cents plain and not really care. And
yeah, I do prefer the lime, but yeah, I'll drink
the lime's
plain.
good too.
I love Pellegrino.
Yeah.
I do. I think that's a really good one. To me, it's like, I don't know, the best way I can explain it is certain sparkling waters, it's like the size of the bubbles. That's the way I explain it. It's like the kind of carbonation. It's like, to me, the way it tastes on my tongue is like some of them have little tiny bubbles and some of them have bigger bubbles, and I like the little tiny bubbles. But no, it's carbonation that I love it more than the.
Yeah, I'm heading out here soon. My roommate has to go into town, so I generally go with them. And I'm actually going to go to Bevgamo, and people have been talking about they want another rum and coke night, and I don't want the sugary rum, right? Because it's just, again, I'm not on my diet, but I don't like the sugars. So I'm trying to find some substitute that I can for rum and coke night. But I think I found this really amazing, looked like it's called corn whiskey. It's called bonded in barrel 4-year aged corn whiskey. And it just sounded amazing. I want to try it. So if anybody's ever tried corn whiskey, let me know. Because I'm thinking about trying that. Have you tried it?
I haven't, but I'm aware of its existence, but I've never tried it.
It looks really good. So I'm going to try to get some of that, or
it's sweeter. It's a sweeter.
Yeah, that's what I kind of want. I might get some whiskey sour mix or something, but because I used to like Jack.
So are we going to do that tonight? I need to go out then.
It might. I was thinking if we'll probably be leaving soon if we go a couple like 4 hours or so. If I get back and I feel like it, then yeah, I'll probably have a rum and coke tonight. But don't hold me to that. It might be tomorrow. But speaking of which, go ahead, Kelson. Then let me interject real quick.
I just had a tooth pulled, so this is like a conversation of everything that I can't have.
Aw.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you know what? We'll drink for you.
Right.
But speaking of rum and coke night, since we generally go screw with flat earthers, I am still looking for someone that is not a Poe to have a debate with Aaron Raw.
Good luck.
I talked to Aaron this morning, and I said, dude, I'm still looking for you. I haven't given up. And he's just like, it's difficult to find one that's not a Poe because they're all the ones that would debate are just running scripts because they're Poes. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, I'm working on this. I've got people looking around. Chris, MCM is going into different places looking. Richard Brumby says, good luck, Steve. Yeah, this is difficult. This sounds a lot easier than it actually is. Because
how would you identify a not Poe? You can't.
I know they're all Poes.
They're all Poes to me, right? And
I'd like to see him do Bros Sanchez. I want to see him get knocked
Aaron has taken
down.
an interest in. Yeah, Brosen. Yeah, well,
I hate that.
Aaron has taken an interest in it. Somebody has asked in the live feed because Aaron wants to make a video on this topic for some reason, and he wants to have an engagement with an actual flat earther. So when I told him I would find him an actual flat earther, recognizing that it's very difficult to find an actual flat earther that I can say this guy literally believes this rather than I just fucktard Poe, I realized it's nearly impossible to determine that. So the two that I've narrowed it down to, unfortunately, that I don't think are Poes are Betty von Velsen and Quantum Eraser.
Okay, Betty wouldn't be any fun. I think Quantum Eraser would be better. Betty is more suited for Red. Because she doesn't know. All she has is that one perception thing.
And that's another problem, right? She wouldn't really know the arguments. Now, Quantum Eraser would, but he's the most annoying ADD person I've ever seen in my entire life. He is so inept, which I would expect from a flat earther. I get that. But he's also an abrasive dick.
Yeah. So you can't do flat earth A word. You can't do Bro Sanchez. You can't do him. You can't do Jeranism. Jeranism might do it, but he is, I don't know. I think he knows that.
Well, that's my point.
Globe.
Find one that we can actually say. I think Orphan Red's a Poe. I think
Nathan Oakley, maybe. I think he actually might believe it.
Has Aaron ever seen Tex?
Tex believes this shit. Yeah. Tex is not a Poe. Tex
does, but he doesn't have the words to go behind it. He doesn't have the knowledge.
See, since I know how Aaron argues, right, and I know what he's looking for in this.
Exactly.
If you had somebody like Tex, he would just be like, "What the hell is this?" He wants somebody to really be articulate and try to come up with a position.
He would just keep going back to like, "Listen here, boy, I know that."
I told you that. Well, Jesus told me the Earth is flat. There, you ain't gonna be arguing with Jesus now, are you?
I tell you, all you gotta do is go outside and look at the sun.
I was saying that have you shown him Tex? Like, just for fun.
That'd be some good for him.
I try to insulate some of these people. Like, I never wanted Aaron to know who Mr. Intelligent ID was. But you all know what happened there, right? They actually had a discussion.
Did they really? Where?
Oh, yes, they did.
What?
Oh, no, I need to watch that.
Where's the link? Link?
It's on Mr. ID's channel, I believe. Yeah, it did not go well.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, if Mr. Intelligent Design is so bad, even Kent Hovind left after 40 minutes. Let that sink in. I'm surprised he lasted that long.
Yeah. It's Hovind. No.
Hovind. Whatever.
Hey, Vincent Jones, he suggested part-time vegan. Here's the problem I have with part-time vegan. Part-time vegan says stuff that makes me want to believe he's a Poe, but at the same time, I think he's a stupid. But he says things that are very Poe-like, and that's again the problem.
D Marble might be good. Look up D Marble. He might be good.
I'm not going to guess for Gizmo. God, no.
No, hell no. No, get D. Look at D Marble. Maybe Dre's too much of an asshole, so probably not.
Well, but see, I don't know some of these people, right? And I want to be able to vouch from. I mean, I want to be able to say, okay, Aaron, I vetted this guy, and this is somebody that I think would be a good to have a discussion or debate with, because again, I think he wants to do a show on this, a video or something. So that's what he told me this morning. So
I mean,
you might want to just go to ODD. I'm going to go to Globe Busters on Sunday. That's where they all converge on Sundays. They all go to Globe
I'll tell you what.
Busters.
I'll tell you what. Tonight, if we do the rum and coke night, we can look around. And I don't mind getting a new person if I can vet them that they actually believe their bullshit. But as Red's put it out, Red's just put in the live feed. Red's rhetoric says, "Most flat earthers simply won't debate." Trust me, I know. Yeah, you're right, Reds.
Yeah, they just won't. It's ridiculous. They won't even let you comment in the comment rooms. I've been in there for like maybe a minute, and they kick me right out every time.
Well, they hate me. All those guys hate me.
Because I'd always go right to the sun not changing angular size, and they just bounce. They hear that, and they're boom.
The best strategy is to send the stupidest person in the room who really doesn't know the facts about it and stuff like that.
I'm okay with that as long as they believe it.
We need a Trojan horse. We need a Trojan horse.
Yes, I am a good Trojan horse because I do understand enough about it, but I don't have all of the facts, like all the exact numbers. So I
want to be upfront with them. I mean, like, hey, we're looking for somebody to debate Aaron. Yeah, I mean, even Nestle 20, he puts out. God, my life feed is blowing up right now. He says most flat earthers won't answer one single question directly. That is true. They are very evasive.
No, they won't. Like I had one literally.
Then they'll just shoot it to someone else. Yeah.
Literally tell me his evidence was too complicated to send me links on Facebook.
Holy crap!
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I could sit here and put links to peer-reviewed science all day long on Facebook, but you can't send me one link about how your evidence.
Well, Dave, when they do send you links, though, it's always a video. Like, hey, watch this video. Okay, first of all, I've probably seen this video. Second of all, this video's not telling me what I'm asking you for.
Nope.
Yeah. How about Jeranism's flat? How about Jeranism's? He's supposed to be doing this. On that canal, like 3 mile, 5 mile canal. He's supposed to have been doing it this whole
laser
year.
Experiment.
Yes, but I think that he's already done it.
Buford, Bedford.
And that.
Bedford,
yes, Bedford experiment. I think he's already done it, and he's trying to figure out a way to clean it up for the
fudge the numbers.
Yes, I think that's what.
Right, because it proves them wrong. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I think you might be right.
Because every month he goes, okay, we're postponing it for another month. I've been waiting for 3 months for him to do this.
But I think that's the whole thing, though. If I could find a flat earther that believes it, that wants to give their type of evidence without going, okay, here's a video on this. I don't. As soon as somebody says here's a video on this, I think they're a Poe or just not worth my time. Right? That's not a person I want to have a discussion with. If I wanted to go watch a video, I'd go watch a video. I mean, we've all seen flat Earth videos. Everybody in here has watched flat Earth videos. We know the arguments. I've read DeBay's 200 freaking arguments. There's nothing new under the sun.
Ask Reds about Star Gods if he might be good. I like Star God. He's a flat earther, but I like him actually.
I see. I don't know who that is. So
he's a good dude. He seems good. I mean, he doesn't know what he's talking. I mean, he's a flat earther, but
yeah, they're kind of synonymous, right?
Right now, he's into dissecting the fakes in flat Earth and the non-fakes. That's what I was saying. If we could talk to him, maybe I'll try and talk to him because I've chatted with him a couple times. And I'll ask which ones are good because he is all about getting the riffraff out of flat Earth, even though he is riffraff. But
So he's trying to elevate the flat earthers. Okay.
Yes, he's trying to get out the ones that are con men and get the real flat earthers.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll give a little bit of, I hate to use the word respect because that's going to be overplayed, but I'll give a little more tolerance for somebody like that. Because again, I want to gauge with the people that actually believe this shit, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna actually talk to him and see what's up. I'll ask him.
By the way, Barney and Frozen in the live chat want to come in and talk about what they're talking about. I'm okay with that too. Frozen C. Anybody can come in. It's just you have to. By the way, I'm letting everybody know now. There is a conservative effort going around to porn bomb and snipe not just my hangout, but a lot of hangouts. Okay, so if you're running a hangout, always have your cameraman on, and we can't put the link out in the Great Debate community anymore because they have people in the Great Debate under socks and stuff like that. So no more am I going to be posting the link to join at the Great Debate community. It's only going to be for the vetted people in the outside chat that we've already vetted. If you want to be on that list, contact me. Or I don't mind if you contact somebody like Jade. She's a moderator, or Barney even. If you know them, if they can vet you, then I'm fine with that as well. MP, whatever. But you need to be vetted. So once you get to that, you'll get on a list that when we put the link out, it just goes in this outside chat, and anybody who's already been quote pre-approved can join, because that's how we're going to have to do it from now on. No, Thalo Blue, you're not vetted. No, I'll add you if you want. But just remember, if you get added, you might get messages every so often from there, because I've had people say, add me, and then as soon as I put the link out to it, you see the person leave. It's like, what? Okay, whatever. So I can add you, Thalo Blue, if you want. So yeah, you guys cool with that? Makes sense. You guys know how to add people to the
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind people adding as long as you guys. I trust you guys.
I don't trust anybody.
Yeah, or just
I'm
send
not
a link.
vetting anybody.
Yeah, I'm not adding anyone I know, but I gotta get going. My pain meds just kicked in, and
Oh,
All right. By the way, Thalo Blue's not coming up.
Lucky.
well, goodbye.
have fun.
Taylor, your name doesn't come up in the outside chat. I don't know why. It has to be on your main account, by the way. It doesn't always find the other accounts. No results matching Thalo Blue. Okay, well, don't know. I tried. What else do we want to catch up on real quick, since we have all these people watching now? Wow.
Could I suggest that, if Thalo Blue wants to be added, Thalo, you can send Steve a just a private post on G+, and that way he'll be able to find your. Because I've had that problem too with people that, they're people I interact with, and I try to find them on G+, and I can't.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It's really weird. But if they send you a note, then you can backtrack and
they send me a note, or they send it to me first, or more importantly, if they send me their email, then I can always find them.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah,
always.
so just something like that. And as for one of the porn bombing problem, obviously, if you get porn bombed, you have to stop your hangout right away. But another possible solution, if people have the right software, is to always record, like right now. So you're recording everything that's going on from the inside. That way, if your video gets taken down, you still have a different version of it. If your video gets taken down and you can't bring it back up. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't be porn bombed because I'm a cameraman. If you run,
right.
I mean, you could theoretically, but I see people coming in. I know who they are. I see that. I can go to the profile. I can tell. Yeah.
Just don't forget that as long as they're in the outside chat, even if you kick them or you don't allow them in, if they get into the outside chat, they can snipe you as well.
Right, and that's why I have to
check them first. That problem.
Right. So you have to kick them from the outside chat as well. Now you can't just kick them from the hangout. You also have to go to the outside chat and kick them from there as well.
But the problem. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I eject them, and then I go snipe them out as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem usually comes, when Google Hangouts, decides to, to mess up, and everybody's an unknown. And when everybody's unknown, how in the hell are you supposed to figure out who's who? Yeah,
well, I mean, like I said, you got to be vigilant. There's a conservative effort. We all know the people doing this. It's Sydney Wilson's group. I'll tell you right now, with I'm Outbound and Atheism Unstoppable, whatever the hell. Not Atheism Unstoppable. I'm sorry. I Am Outbound and Down Corner. Those guys, right?
Yeah.
So they're just
guys.
We all hang out with Sidney Wilson, Ask an Atheist. They all part of his group. They go around doing this stuff. They're doxing people. They're trying to call people's phone numbers. So I mean,
I've actually been added to the groups once in a while.
Yeah, if you're in a group with Sidney Wilson, Ask an Atheist, or any of those guys, get the hell out of that group ASAP. Just be done with them. The only one in that group that I have any tolerance for, because I actually like him, I know him a long time, is Bulldog. I happen to get along with Bulldog. I know a lot of people don't, but I have no ill will toward Bulldog whatsoever. But he is in that group. But other than that, anybody in that group can just stay the hell away from my hangouts because they're never going to get in. Yeah. Does Lou want in? Lou, you got to send me the link, dude. I'll get you in if you want. Lou Pilska's never been in a hangout, has he?
I haven't seen
Lou, have you ever been in a hangout, Lou? I don't think I've ever seen you in a hangout, have I? All right, Lou Pliska, what's the doing?
I think he used to be in hangouts a long time ago, but I don't remember.
I will try to send you the link, Lou, but I don't know if you come up. Again, no results, no matching results. Like I said, no, I don't. I trust you, Lou. You can come in, but the problem is again, and obviously Jay can validate. I have a hard time finding people to send them the link if I haven't ever sent them a link before. We haven't anything on G+. If you haven't contacted me first, I can't find you.
Yeah, Steve has to send it to me on Facebook because for some reason it isn't working, and we haven't been able to figure it out. I've looked at it from my end. He's looked at it from his end, and
we've never been able to talk on G+, have we, Jade?
What?
Ever? We've never been able to have a G+ thing with each other, like an instant communication.
I don't know why. We can't figure out why. I've gone into my email. I've tried everything.
I have to send it through her special.
But yeah, he sends it to me through Facebook, and it works.
Yep. So it's not just me. I'm not making stuff up.
No, because I've looked at everything. I went to like online, and I'm looking for solutions to this G+. What if this happens? What if that happens? Saw a lot of suggestions, tried to do it. Nothing works.
It still says, I go to Jade West, and I won't give out your email address, but your email address. And it says, invite pending. You are able to chat with Jade once your invitation has been accepted. We've tried this like 3-4 times the last 3 or 4 years. Still doesn't work.
And if most time I don't even get his invitation. I've asked him to send it to me again. I've and then when I got it, I accepted it. Nothing's happened. We don't know why this disconnect is, but it just isn't working. And yeah, I've given up on trying.
Yeah, that's why I did too. That's why I was like, I don't mind.
Like I said, Steve just sends it to me on Facebook, and we're fine.
Yeah. But as long as I'm aware of that.
Hi.
What?
Jim W says hi.
Jim W.
He's a Christian. You know him. He just says hi. He's got that avatar with ships or something. I don't know. He just says hi.
Okay.
Oh, Jim, the guy.
Jim.
The guy's army guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jim. Okay. Yeah. Of course.
Jim. Yeah.
Yeah. He has a Star Wars type. No. Wait.
Hi, Jim. Yeah, because he hasn't been around a lot because he's got other stuff going on in his real life.
Yeah, he just wanted, he just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, no, I know who Jim is. I've talked to him actually the other day, as a matter of fact, for quite some time.
Yeah.
Off air for me and him for a while. So I needed to ask his advice on something.
Yeah, Jim's a cool guy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
People were asking about Eric DeBay. Yeah, Eric DeBay is a opinion, so yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah,
he doesn't debate either. So
I'm trying to get a hold of the Star Guys right now. Like that's what I've been doing. And God, I got to learn how to use Facebook and Twitter.
Has Antonio been? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, you're good.
Here.
Go.
Okay.
Good.
Has Antonio been doing anything lately?
He's been so quiet.
Okay.
Because Antonio's on Discord with Didi. That's what they're.
That's what they're hanging out. Yeah, I heard that Darwin's was. I think that maybe Antonio thinks that because he hasn't really putting out much, that he's somehow not going to be like running the running for Dumb Fuck of the Year. Boy, is he wrong. G-Man thinks he's actually going to win. I don't know if he's going to win. I think it's going to be a neck and neck thing. I can't say who's going to win. I really don't. So.
Yeah.
I think Antonio has a good shot though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because some of the stuff. Oh my God, Antonio.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for a flat earther this year, though. Even though at the beginning of the year I was all about Antonio, but that's because I was in with him and Didi about that abortion, I was talking to him about people being attracted to men and women, and that pissed me off.
Hey, somebody had mentioned. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Just so was my period.
Somebody said.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
You're breaking up a little bit. Well, we gotta get you a better phone, MP. Go ahead. What? No, go ahead, MP.
I was saying I feel like G-Man is like LeBron James in NBA. He can win every year.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right.
No. That's why they have
MVP.
a rule. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he can get MVP though. No, he can get MVP though. He can get like what is that? A lifetime mention or lifetime
achievement award.
Yes, lifetime achievement.
I think that's a good idea because we have like G-Man and True could both win every year, but perhaps we should have a MVP award or something like that. Because
Well, we have the Ronnies coming up on November 17th. That's the date that we decided. I just got to come up with the time. I am going to be asking a lot of people to join. Hopefully, maybe Aaron might be able to join, and I get Holy Kool-Aid to join. We're going to get a lot of people to join, but we're going to have to work it out because I don't want to have like 25 people in at the same time like we did before for the like a ceremony that we had. It just lags a lot. So
dang it, I'm not going to be able to be in there.
Google Hangouts does not like more than 10 people. It doesn't matter whether you're.
I know.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I wanted to be in there. No.
See, Luke's having a hard time finding me. And by the way, people had said Antonio Superats. Yeah, I don't think Antonio Superats a Poe. I will say I think he's legit.
Yes.
He's legit flat Earth.
Yeah,
that might not be a bad idea.
Yeah,
so I thought about Antonio. Yeah, I thought about him. I did, but I was like, does he really have? Yeah, you know what? Maybe he might. Okay. Let's see here.
Does he have any arguments? I mean, I realize none of them are decent arguments, but
yes,
his are better normal. His are better normal.
Oh my!
Okay,
Yeah, like Polaris. That's a killer argument. It's Polaris.
It's Polaris.
Yeah,
yeah, he does have that stupid ass there. Yeah, that Polaris.
No one knows how G Plus works. That's kind of the problem with G Plus. No one knows how it works.
Yeah, G Plus. I'm telling you, Lou is having a hell of a time because G Plus is just whacked.
Yeah, sometimes I won't be able to see your link in G Plus. That's why I always just go through Hangouts. It's so much easier. Once you put this new Hangout thing, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, isn't it? And people were like, "Oh, I don't like this idea." I'm like, "Well, let's try it out." Actually, it's been the pretty good idea. But I want to get
everyone
Lou
knows
in
where
here.
to go. Yeah, because I don't think I've ever been in with Lou.
I don't think that I have. To be honest with you, Lou, how do I get Lou in here? Dang it!
Twitter. Is he on Twitter?
Oh, I know what I can do. Wait. I think I might have an idea. One sec. Talk amongst yourselves.
Send it to him, Twitter or Facebook. But yeah, so, Antonio, he might be good. Superats. I think that just might be the person, and he loves being in the forefront. Like he's a camera whore. So
yeah,
and he knows a lot about the insides of Flat Earth and the other people. And him and Patricia Steer live together. Like
no, she's a Poe.
She is. I hate her, but they got together. It's like she moved all the way to Spain to live with him.
Wow, that's some crazy. I don't know how crazy people find each other.
You know what?
Exactly, but they sure do, don't they?
Yes, they sure do.
Send him a YouTube message. If you send it to him on YouTube, he can look in his creator studio and find it.
Oh yeah, you're
right. I'm trying to find Lou's thing here. Hey Lou, do you got a G Plus page? Oh, I found you, Lou. I can't add you directly, but I found you on G Plus, so I'm going to send this to you. Okay, but it wants to make it public too. I don't want to make it public. Why did it do that? I found him on G Plus, but then it wants to make it public, and I don't want to make it public.
Yeah. Oh, no, you have to click where it says public, and it'll give you other options.
Yeah, I did, and then it said public in its name. I think I almost have it, Lou. Hang on. God, G Plus. I mean, can it just work right?
Nope.
It just doesn't. Now it's just crashed.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's trying to send a message. It just hangs there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
While you're doing that, I wanted to get back a little bit to the original subject.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the things you said that I basically agree with is about outing people. I'm not in favor, in most cases, of outing people. I think that's their business. I think people need to come out in their own time. I think there are sometimes reasons that people don't come out when you think they should, that you don't know about, that are none of your business. Perhaps they might have I knew of a case where someone had a elderly grandmother who would have been extremely distressed and knew that if they came out, the family would tell the elderly grandmother, and they just decided to stay in the closet until longer around. So people make decisions for their own reasons, and I'm against outing people. The exception is outing homophobic bigots. And I mean,
I'm fine with that. Oh, totally.
Homophobic bigots. I'm not talking about someone who occasionally says anti-gay things because maybe they're a politician and they have to do that to keep their job. But if they're virulently homophobic, so I don't. If there's some politician who constantly votes against gay things because that's he's representing his or her district, I don't think there's any reason to out them. But if they're going totally anti-gay, then out them.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that.
You're not outing their homosexuality. You're outing their hypocrisy.
Right?
Exactly. Right.
Which needs to be done as much as possible and everywhere.
One of the classic cases was a guy named George Riekers. Now, you guys may not know who he is because he hasn't been, in the news for a while. But for a while, George Riekers, his full name George Allen Riekers, Rekers, was in the news all the time because I guess he's still alive. I just looked; he's still alive. He's 2 years older than I am, so I guess I thought he was older. He is a psychologist and a Southern Baptist minister. Now, here's the thing: he was, like a professor of neuropsychiatry and behavioral science at the University of South Carolina School of Medicine. He has a PhD from the University of California. He has been a research fellow at Harvard, professor and psychologist for UCLA and the University of Florida, and department head at Kansas State. So he has all these credentials, right? I just looked him up on
Isn't he the one
Wikipedia
that came up with
double
conversion therapy?
No. Let me just go on a little bit. And I looked him up, and the reason I look stuff up is because my memory's not perfect. I always want to double check to make sure I've got the right thing. So here's the thing with George Riekers, is he was on the founding board of the Family Research Council. The Family Research Council exists basically to be anti-gay. He was a former officer and scientific advisor of the National Association for Research and Therapy of Homosexuality, NARTH, an organization offering conversion therapy.
Right.
Riekers all over the place about how bad homosexuality was and how homosexuals were damaged by this. So he was well known for this anti-gay stance. He was the guy they bring in trials and things like that. And then he was caught at an airport with a rent boy that he got off of rentboy.com.
I think I have heard about that. That sounds so familiar. That sounds so familiar.
And the thing is, here's one of the funny parts, is one of the pictures. He says that how he explained, I'm not sure how he ever explained how he got him off rentboy.com. He could have just said, "Oh, gee, I didn't realize that was that kind of a site." But you look at the site, and I don't know if it exists anymore. But if you look at the site, it's obvious what it is. So he has this lovely blonde boy, and here's this fat old scuzzy dude. And he says he hired the young man to go to Europe with him to carry his luggage. And yet in this one picture at the airport, the beautiful blonde boy is standing there, and Riekers is getting his own luggage off of the thingy. Yeah, what kind of luggage was he handling there, Mr. Riekers? What kind of luggage? And they actually found the rent boy because, hey, he was on rentboy.com. It wasn't hard to find him. He gave Mr. Reeker's sensual massages.
Yeah, well, that kind of hypocrisy, I think, should be called out, right? I mean,
right, and that's
usually involved too.
Absolutely.
And by the way, after this incident, he fell off the radar completely.
Yeah,
and this is fairly common with these virulently anti-gay folks. Turns out they're self-hating, closeted homosexuals.
Yeah, that's always true, though.
Well,
like,
hang on,
go ahead.
No, there's been studies done on that. There is a correlation there. I've actually read these. Yeah, there is. This is not just throwing smoke and whatever. There actually is a study that has shown that people that are more virulently anti-homosexual do have a percentage of chance of being higher, or it is a percentage chance of being higher that they more likely to be gay than not.
Yeah.
So there is a correlation there. So if you see people that are virulently homosexual, there's a good chance some of those people, more than usual, are going to be gay themselves.
Yeah, I know 2 of them.
Well, and you remember the senator Larry. I forget what his name was, Larry something or other, who got caught playing footsie at the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a virulently anti-gay guy, and he was, and the officer that arrested him,
Larry Craig.
The officer who arrested him was very experienced at doing this sort of a sting. So there's really no question about what was happening, except that Larry Craig, not me. And we see so many of these cases. There's even a very well-known, God, I can't think of his name right now, but because he'd be before a lot of your time. He was a very well-known televangelist who made a lot of money.
Dan Haggard.
No. I'll have to try to.
Dan Haggard.
But of course, as it turns out, they later found out that he paid off some guy to mention. No, not Dan Haggard. This is let me see if I can find it.
Well, I tell you what.
The thing is, this is the kind of situation. Yeah, is as Barney pointed out. The point is you're outing their hypocrisy.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah,
and as I said, I'm not in favor of outing, Congressperson so and so who always votes anti-gay and is actually gay, because they're voting with what their constituency wants, and that's what they're supposed to do to begin with. But if they start pounding the podium on the floor of Congress and talking about how bad homosexuals are, that's when you out them.
Yeah, and they'll have the smell of testicles in their mouth. Yeah, that's.
Democracy needs to be definitely outed on that. I do agree. But I tell you what, as somebody who's been a male all my life, when I go to airport stalls and any kind of stalls, I have never accidentally played footsies with anybody on a stall next to me.
Stay away from the ones with the holes. Stay away from the ones with the holes in them, Steve. Stay away from the ones with the holes in them too.
You never slip near a pissoir and kind of just accidentally landed with your lips around somebody else's.
Recall, not to my best recollection. I mean, we've all been drunk, so I don't know. I've had a few blackout nights, so.
I just remember the famous phrase from that incident. So, Steve, you don't have a wide stance.
I don't have a wide stance.
You remember that? That was his excuse. I have a wide stance.
What is that? You'll be able to straddle something good then.
You know what? Sometimes it's easier just to go, yes, I'm an idiot, rather than make up something. Even if it was true, I'd be like, I don't want to tell anybody I have a wide stance. I'd be like, yeah, I was trying to fuck this guy or whatever.
Yeah, how the hell does that even make you sound good? Yeah.
I don't know. It does it, Tony?
No, I can get on a horse easy.
Oh, God.
That actually, because he was from Montana, wasn't he, or something like that, or he was from a western state anyway.
Yeah,
and that would have been a better excuse. I'm used to riding my horse, and I sit down in the toilet, and I just spread my legs out, and this fella had his foot near the edge, and I just
got all comfortable and shit.
Yeah, and I just kind of accidentally touched foot, and he touched my foot back, and I was kind of like, "Oh, fuck you!" And I touched his foot again, but push him away. I mean, there's so many better excuses.
Yes, and then we almost fought and everything, and then he pulled down his pants, and I started punching on his dick, and
this went to hell, but that's okay.
Sorry,
guys, I am going to get going because I want to have a quick hang on this. I think it was important that we did. because I was listening. I mean,
it was fun too. This was a good one.
All my hangouts are good ones. Come on.
Oh.
I know, but I actually got to talk this time. Usually, I just sit there and I have no clue what you guys are talking about.
I like when you add stuff, Tony. You do come in and you're awfully quiet. And it's like, that's fine. I mean, you're allowed to, but I like when you add to it, Tony.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm mostly quiet too. Sometimes I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I'm more talkative than math.
Yeah, doing math. Wait. Did you just say that you're more talkative during math?
I
tried to clarify on that. I'm thinking
yeah, what?
But it's okay. I'm not judging.
Hey,
I'm not judging.
No, that's fine. Steve, remember how we met? You asked me if I was high. No, I'm not high. That's the way I speak.
You guys remember that story? The first time I met Midnight, I was asked to go into this hangout, and I met Midnight, and I was like, "Are you high?" I was like, "I can't understand. You high?" He's like, "No, I just stutter a lot." I felt like a total asshole. I stutter. I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
What were you gonna say, Jade?
Anyway,
you were gonna say something.
I was just gonna say I found him, and this is a name that may not be known to some of you, but some of you might. Paul Crouch.
Doesn't
Paul
sound
Crouch.
That sounds familiar. Paul Crouch.
It sounds very familiar.
Trinity Broadcasting Network. He was a big name on the Trinity Broadcasting Network, and he paid off. I even had the right amount of money in my head. He paid his homosexual lover $425,000 in hush money.
Oh my God! Well, I'd turn gay for that much money.
And if you were to see a picture, I'm going to give you a link inside, and if you scroll down. And you see a picture of Paul Crouch. Now, this isn't exactly, I don't know how legitimate this website is, but as they point out, the LA Times originally broke the story. So it's actually...
And that's a gay name anyways, Paul
remember
Crouch.
that. If you scroll down and you look at a picture of Paul Crouch, I think you might recognize him. Some of you.
Look at it.
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah.
But here's somebody like Tony had mentioned for like $1 million. Yeah, you bet that I would like suck a dick, but that doesn't make me gay. That's what people don't understand. Gay is a sexuality thing, not your actions, right? For any guy who says they wouldn't suck a dick for $1 billion, you're an idiot. You're just
or a really good liar.
That's right.
Yeah, a really good liar.
Yeah, right.
And as I said, this isn't exactly the a really good site necessarily. I don't know anything about it.
He looks kind of like Geraldo there.
If you know about the early days of TBN, Trinity Broadcasting Network, Paul Crouch was a pretty famous guy.
Yeah,
a lot of this stuff broke. That was the end of him too.
Yeah, they spent a lot of money on hairspray back in those days.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny that people would be like, oh, well, for $1 million you do that? You bet your ass. Why would I not?
I mean, Steve, do you want to be paid first and then do it? Because there's a chance they could say they would, but then they don't.
It's cash up front. Yeah, and tax free.
Yeah, no, half now, half later.
Half and half. You know what? I'll take the half and half.
You open my account in the Caymans with the hush first half, and then
for $1 million, you bet your ass I would. I wouldn't even think twice about it. I'd be good.
But Steve, how much is $1 million even worth in today's economy? Make it $2 million or $1 billion.
I'm okay. My worst fear would be somebody be going like, Steve, it wasn't worth $1 million. I'd be like, oh wow, that hurts.
Yeah, that hurts. Let me try again.
I don't know. Would it bother me or not?
Give me a second chance, man. Give me a second chance.
Give me a second chance. It's a BOGO. Buy one, get one.
Yeah, I got a coupon, man. It's freaking rider miles.
I'm still learning.
I don't know how I feel about that. I have to really think about this. I'm having an existential crisis. If I would be bothered, I'd be bothered if they didn't think I was good. I have to really think about this. What the hell's wrong with me?
It's all good. At least you're thinking about it.
I don't want it. Well, that's another point. Why do I want to be thinking about this?
Come on, $1 million. You just make sure you have plenty of lube.
Well, no, I didn't say that. No, I said there's a difference. So now you're taking it to a different extreme. That's going to cost you a lot more. A lot more. Oh, God.
We're not talking about no cheap whore here now.
Yeah, no shit.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah, I mean, I might be cheap, but I ain't free. Yeah.
On Grindr, they love guys with beards.
Yeah, but they also like what's a straight guy that they want to go have sex with. There's a name for that. I don't know what it's called.
They're like straight guy hunting straight.
Yeah, it's like a trophy thing. They take it as like a badge of honor or something, that they got a straight guy to go down the down low or something. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. So I'm going to probably have the rum and coke night tonight, but if not tomorrow. And then the Sunday show I'm going to be having, I'm obviously having those more regularly. I have a few blind guests lined up. One of the guests I want to tell you is I did get Anthony Magnabosco, and he'll be here in next month, first week of next month. Do you guys know who he is?
Not really.
He does the street epistemology things.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'll look him up though.
You look up Anthony Magnabosco. He does street epistemology. Very nice guy. I've been having great conversations with him. I've also got somebody who wrote some Talk Origin stuff on a particular topic. He's a PhD. He's agreed to come on with this if this other PhD is willing to come on. So I'm trying to negotiate with that. They are anti-young Earth creationist, but they're willing to come on to talk about some young Earth creationist arguments and explain them to people, because some of them are very complicated, like helium diffusion. So I've got communications with them going on. Zoe Does Life has said she will be coming on next month. If you know who she is.
Yeah, I've heard her.
Yep, she's got a good channel. She's got some good videos. Let's see what else. Anybody else? Anything to add? Any thing they want to add before I call this a day? Like I said, I didn't want to have this too long, but I thought this was an interesting topic because, listening to Drag say one thing and then listening to Ronnie distort it, I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. All while driving with his luscious locks blowing in the wind.
I don't find Ronnie attractive. He's got great hair, but he is not an attractive guy by any means.
Yeah.
I wonder if that bothers him. I wonder if he's like,
Well, anyway, Steve, thank you.
He's definitely someone's type.
I guess.
Sure.
Is there anything else? Might as well leave.
Yeah, midnight. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning. Like I said, when I have the rum and coke night, you'll know if I do, it's probably going to be around 8 o'clock, give or take my time. So it is late at night. I know the Europeans can't really join us for that, unfortunately, because unless they want to be up really, really late. Somebody asked me how my diet's going. I've been off my diet for like 2 weeks now or so, 3. I lost 10 pounds on my diet, so I'm okay with that. I'm eventually going to try again, maybe November, to try to lose 5 more. But as of right now, I'm just maintaining. But I did lose 10 pounds on my diet, so that's significant. I did notice a change on my belly. I lost about an inch, and I did put on about a half an inch on my arms, my biceps, because I've worked out with weights. And I've definitely noticed an increase.
Muscles, yeah. So muscle is a lot heavier in fat too. So
yeah, so that's why another reason I noticed I'm
and then put it on there.
But I'm not losing the weight, but I'm constant, and so I'm okay with that for right now. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty much exactly at 200 pounds, and I was 210.
I need to lose weight. I'm at 240 right now.
Oh yeah, I never hit that high.
No, but I'm 6'6", so I'm okay.
Yeah, so I'm very happy with my diet results. I'm just, like I said, I'm maintaining right now. I don't want to put the weight back on, but I am working out, so I'm probably going to put on a pound or 2. But I'll start again next month, and maybe drop another 5 probably. So I lift.
You just upgraded to dumbbells too. You just upgraded to 10-pound dumbbells too. Congratulations, Steve.
Oh, I do more than that. I used to use 40-pound dumbbells. I used to be in really good shape, so I'm doing 20s now, so it's not a big deal. But I do a lot of them. I do 3 sets, of like 50 each. Then I'll do triceps. I do hammer curls. I do isometrics. Sam has told me, show me some videos of how to just sit.
Isometrics is important.
Oh yeah, dude! I'll sit there and I'll be doing these weird type of isometric things. It makes you look like an idiot. Yeah. But I tell you what, they really seem to hurt the little muscles, and that's good because you want to build up strength there.
You do your forearms, your core. You can do it. You can do any muscle you can do as long as you flex it right and then strain it.
That's all I've been doing with these isometrics. I'll just sit there and kind of just do isometrics, and yeah, you can definitely feel it. So I feel better. I'm a lot stronger than I was when I started all this. I was weak. I admit that I couldn't really lift anything. I had gone, my muscles just were atrophied, and so I could definitely see the difference.
Yeah.
So when I try to lift something, it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
I can
same
actually do this. Not go, oh my god.
Yeah, I was walking down one of those paths that have all the work. Oh wait, no, never mind. Go off.
All right. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and look forward to you guys leaving comments in the video description. Let us know about the subject, what you think on it. Go over and check out Jaclyn Glenn's video. Leave a comment underneath mine if I still have the top comment. I think I do, but it's hard to tell when it's your own comment. But let me know if you agree with that. If you don't disagree with that, whatever. And tell Jaclyn hi from the Great Debate community, because I'm sure by now they know us, or she knows us. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end the hangout now, and I will see you for Rum and Coke night.